My name is Mota. I'm from Brazil, São Paulo. This is my garden, but it's in a very bad state and needs some attention. The lawn needs something to be done to it. I also do like a barbecue to be built and a nice big shed where I'll have all my stuff in. And the most important, that will be a lovely surprise for my wife Michelle for a wedding anniversary. Garden yard, please help me.
Come on fellas, garden in need of attention.
Hello.
Mota, hello. We are from Gardens ER and we have come here to save this poor garden. Look at it, let me introduce you to everyone. This is Nick.
Hello. Nick, nice to meet you, Mota.
This is Sven, who's going to be designing the
Nice
garden,
to meet you.
and Adam.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Now, Mota, we can see this garden's a little bit sad, really. Not very well at all.
No.
So Sven has got some ideas already, but tell us about you and how you like to use your garden.
Well, we are a quite big family, 2 kids, but this was like 5, and they need a lot of space to run. Plus, my wife Michelle, she likes a lot of trees, plants, and all these, and I need my space.
Right.
I like to play my music, I like to have my barbecues and a lot of people in.
Right, so this is a party garden.
Yeah, definitely a party garden.
So that's exactly what we're going to give you. Up here I see you've got this old barbecue. I think this needs to be its own area. Some hard landscaping underneath maybe. Bit of seating. Circular here maybe, so you and your
When
friends...
you say hard landscaping, what do you mean there?
Paved. You
Right.
stick some paving underneath
Okay.
it. So it's an independent area.
That's
so
brilliant.
while you're standing here, cooking your barbecues, you can serve your friends sitting on their nice seating area here. Maybe they're playing their instruments, drinking their drink, etc.
The plan is to build a shed that I'll be using to store my stuffs, and most important, have a place for a fridge and freezer.
Okay.
So where I can
Fantastic.
store all the food and all the drinks.
Sitting here right next to a shed is not going to be particularly beautiful. So what I think maybe, we'll have a shed unit either side and maybe create some kind of archway in between where you can put some kind of pot or focal feature, something nice for you to look at while you're all sitting around.
What are we going to do over here? Look at the sorry state of this. Mota, how did you get like this?
Yeah, that shows you that I need a lot of help.
So what's going to happen here?
Open heart surgery, I think.
Right.
Basically, it's totally uneven, patchy. We're going to have to redo it. Simple as that.
Right, so all this is coming up.
Absolutely.
Today's designer is Sven Wombwell. The patient is the Samba garden in Palmer's Green, North London. Sven's diagnosis is an uneven lawn and nowhere for entertaining. Treatment is to returf the lawn, build a new barbecue, and create an attractive seating area. Mota's garden is long and narrow, so Sven's idea is to take away the harsh straight lines and create a curved seating area at the back, which will be framed by plants to the rear and side. A perfect place for Mota's Brazilian Samba band. The first job is to take the lawn up, which can be a laborious and time-consuming task. So to make the job easier, we've hired a turf stripper. Once the lawn has been stripped, the exposed earth will have to be turned over to prepare the ground for the new turf. And then the rain came down.
We've stripped the lawn down to the soil underneath, and it's totally boggy. This soil is like absolute mush. What do you think, Adam?
The soil was pretty good before we started, plenty of earthworms, but now the condition's critical. What do you think?
I think we better move on to something else.
Good plan.
Marking out. Let's do it. Right, what we're going to do now is find the centre point of where our stone circle is going to be, which is at the centre of the actual seating area. To do this, oh, got the other end? Yeah. Okay. Right, so find the centre of the garden. Obviously measure right across, and this is 530, and half of 530 is... Come on, shout it.
265.
265, there we go. Okay, mark the centre point. 265. This is there.
Leave the stake
There
in
you
for
go.
the centre.
And it's 180 from the back, which we worked out earlier. Okay, come in.
Way a bit. Okay.
So you can have the L, and then we can get this spot on. How's that for a guess?
Yeah, it's bang on.
Fantastic.
Oh. You pass me the line and the spray. Right, the stone circle is a 240 diameter. So from the centre point we measure out 1 metre 20. But we'll make it 125 to allow for pointing. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, Nick, do you want to mark that out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Here's your circle.
What we're going to do is dig the perimeter. Because it's so mushy, we need to define the area.
Come on! Get your back breaking. Alright, I'm going to smash this down, so watch your backs, everybody.
This line's going to define, firstly, where the paving area is going to be, secondly, where the planting bed's going to come around on the right-hand side of the garden.
Happy with that?
Okay. And the same again on that side. That's it. There we go. Right, this area is for where the barbecue's going to be, and comes out 2 metres from. Oh, we need to make the straight line from the edge first. That's it. That's where your barbecue's going to be. Well, not your barbecue.
So I could do the barbecue now. Paving.
Well, I know we said this garden was an emergency, but we didn't realise quite how much of an emergency. It hasn't stopped raining all day. Well, it's not raining, it is chucking it down. So, Sven, leave your ballast for just a moment.
Thank you.
Love, this is the Glastonbury 97 garden.
It's
How's
pretty
it going?
bad. Well, the garden was critical. I'd say it's now nearly flatlining.
Oh dear.
As you can see, it is, as you said, Glastonbury. It's
quagmire, isn't it?
Absolutely terrible. I
How
think
much behind schedule are we?
2 hours,
Right, this doesn't.
I would say.
It's only day one though.
Exactly,
We've got
it's only
2
day
more
one.
days to do it.
We've got another day, but we've got a lot to do in that day. But
Now at this end of the garden, Motta and his friends are building the sheds.
Trying to.
So Motta, you left the Brazilian sunshine.
Tell me about it. Look at that. Ooh.
Right, well, the sheds are coming together. How are you getting on up here? It must be hell.
Oh, tell me, we cannot even mark the wood to cut by. It's coming along. Jai is doing a great job. We already got the front almost red.
Yeah.
So we're gonna finish up the roof.
And so
and,
you're going to do exactly the same
Exactly the same.
the other side.
If there were the permits.
Oh, we'll just soldier on. It'll be fine. We'll keep you in cups of tea, and there'll be no problem.
Okay, what I'm doing is just leaving the knees up. This hardcore, if there is any, we're going to put it in the stone circle, use it as a base, and then we can add some more. Save's just getting rid of it at the moment, so we can reuse it in the garden. I'm actually quite used to working in the rain, but not in these boggy conditions. It's like being in World War One.
Here I'm cutting the posts for the bench. I'm doing them slightly longer than I need to, just in case when I sink them in the ground they end up being too short. On the side they're going to have a piece of 2x4, which is the long wood, I don't know if you can see it just down there, that will come across the sides like this and will support the bench top. Simple as that. I'm going to get cutting because we're in a rush.
It is end of day one, and would you believe this is the first break in the rain that we've had all day since we got here? Look at these three. Oh no. Sven, this emergency, should I be bringing in the trolley and going clear? What are we going to do with this garden?
We're going to hope for a break in the rain overnight. Doesn't look like it, but fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And it'll be fine. We'll do it, no problem.
Right, so you've got that waiting for paving.
Yes, it's
concreting.
all the foundations are done under there, so
And,
ready
and
to
what
go.
about laying turf and lawn?
We're going to have a floating turf. It's going to be moving. It's going to look good.
Okay, but I mean, is this going to be a huge nightmare tomorrow? Is this...
No, what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate some lime-free sharp sand, which will help in the drainage, which will enable us to walk on it and also lay the turf. So it's possible. It can be
Right, and what about the concreting for or laying the paving and stuff? How's that going to work?
I should be fine as long as it doesn't rain again. But it'll be fine anyway. We'll make it work.
We'll find a way.
We'll make it work.
Little optimist, it's little optimist. Well, it's end of day one, and I think for you boys, it's got to be bath, pyjamas, teeth, and bed, frankly.
Most definitely. Absolutely.
Here in North London, the garden is looking like a mudslide. This is what we want to achieve: a seating area around a paved stone circle at the back of the garden, and a new lawn framed by curved borders.
Right, today, me and Adam are going to start building the supports for the bench. We've got Nick over here preparing the barbecue area, and luckily, they've disappeared at the moment, but we've got some of Motta's mates building the shed for us to keep the fridge, etc. in, which is brilliant. Katrina and Motta have actually gone down to Covent Garden Market to find a focal point that's going to sit between the shed and to get some flowers for his wife when she turns up today at 5 o'clock.
Meanwhile, back in the garden, work has started on the sheds, and Nick is laying the slabs for the barbecue area.
What slabs are we using anyway, Sven?
They're called Old Raven.
Oh, they're nice, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not bad. Right, I'm now starting to place the bench top on. The piece of string is to make sure when I cut and mark the circle that all the pieces of wood are long enough, etc. And I can go all the way around on the outside and the same on the inside. And hopefully they'll all fit, like so.
Hi
guys.
there, we're back. We've been up at New Covent Garden Market this morning, buying flowers for Michelle, and of course our focal point. Now,
Excellent.
how is the patient this morning?
Getting a lot better actually. We're getting right stuck in, making up a bit of time.
Good.
Probably still about an hour behind schedule, but I'm confident. Got Nick down here on the paving.
And Nick's in shorts because you don't care about the weather, do you, Nick?
No, well, after yesterday, it'll be easier and quicker to dry myself. So, but now, yeah, everything's going fine. Got the grill for the barbecue, so that's roughly where the barbecue's going to go. And then we've got the 4-piece. We're going to level it off, so you got a nice shelf to put on your cold meat, or your hot meat rather. Let it cool down.
Nice and hot.
You can put some shelves underneath your barbie, or maybe a cupboard in there. It's up to you.
Yes,
it's getting there.
And the access start from there. Nice barbecue here, serving area, people sitting down,
Party, music,
party,
drinking.
so settled. It's only missing the lawn. Well done, guys. Thank you.
No worries.
Right, we will leave you getting on with it. Let's go and put these flowers in water for Michelle.
See you in a
See you
minute.
later.
See you later, lads.
It's been raining constantly for 2 days now and the soil is really waterlogged. Adam is having to add lime-free sand to soak up the moisture before he can lay the new turf.
Well, it's raining, so there's a surprise. It is all hands on deck at the moment. Motters backwards and forwards, in and out like a fiddler's elbow. It's all kicking off in the garden. We've got everybody doing everything we can because garden ER has turned into an everything ER working in this weather. But I, of course, in my quieter moments, just like to do a little bit of flower arranging.
We're finally laying the turf. When you're laying turf, what you need to do is to make sure that the turfs are butted up well. On both sides. You must make sure at all times that you're not walking on the turf. If you walked on the turf, especially in this weather, you'll just get big dips and hollows into it. That's why we're walking on the scaffold board.
Okay, it's 5:30. We've had to come to a stop. We're standing here in the pouring rain with the Samba band, obviously. What else do you do in the rain in Britain? Now, it's been the most torrential rain for 2 days. This has been really, really difficult. The garden does look very different, but Sven, it's not finished, is it?
No, it's definitely not. We've still got a bit of lawn to finish off, planting to do, little circular piece of lawn in the paving, the barbecue to set in, also the serving table next to the barbecue to build. But we'll do it. We'll come back on another day when it's not raining.
Yes, we'll come back soon. Motor.
Eventually.
We will come back soon. Now, I mean, all of this has just been rain holding us up, hasn't it? I mean, it's been impossible, and staining the wood as well has been
Can't be done.
Absolutely impossible. But we will be back. So what we're going to do is we've got a Samba band here. We've bought beautiful flowers for Michelle. We're going to show her what we have done so far and then promise to return. The Swamp Boys will be back after a bath. So, Motor, off you go and fetch your lady love.
And she'll be happy.
This is Motter's wife, Michelle, who hasn't a clue what's been going on. Motter packed her off to a health club for the weekend, so this is a real surprise. Although she's been in a health club, it's her garden that's been having the makeover.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary!
Well, Michelle, Motter phoned us and he wanted to surprise you, so are you surprised?
Yeah, very. Very surprised.
You would have been even more surprised if you'd have seen this. It was a mud soup yesterday. You would have been even more surprised. But let me introduce you to our Swamp Boys. These are our Gardens ER team. This is Sven, who designed your garden.
Thank you very much.
This is Adam.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
And this is Nick.
Hope you like it.
Thank you. Thanks, I do. It's lovely.
And you must be surprised, because otherwise you wouldn't generally kiss big muddy boys, would you? Not really. Not really, especially not with your husband standing next to you.
As promised, Sven and the Swamp Boys returned to finish off the garden. The rain held off as the sheds were painted, the paving was pointed up, and the benches were sanded and stained.
Whenever you're turfing an area and putting soil down, you need to compact the soil. If you can't get a roll in, or if you haven't got any other methods, the best way of doing it is by standing on your heels, displacing the weight onto your heels and walking like a pigeon. Looks really silly, but it does the job.
What I'm doing here is planting some Lonicera. This is Nitida Bagason's Gold. It's going underneath the bench here. Eventually it's going to grow quite large and almost create a floating bench top on top. It can be clipped back quite hard, basically to make a nice line underneath it to fill up under here. Simple as that.
This is about the only sun we have in the garden, so we've got some nice sun-loving plants here. This is Cytisus Botanderi, or the pineapple broom, and believe me, when it's in flower, the blooms smell absolutely fantastic. Some people say it's not quite pineapple-y, but I think it smells delicious. It's almost good enough to eat. It's got nice glaucous grey leaves, perfect for sunny spots. When you're buying plants which like the sun, go for grey leaves, yellow leaves, slightly downy leaves. This is the sunniest part of the garden, as I mentioned earlier. We've got all year interest, we've got spring flowering plants, we've got this wonderful here Viburnum Bodden Intense with great fragrance to it and great autumn colour. We've got these wonderful Cerotostigma over here which look fabulous next to these Choisia. This is Choisia Sundance. The leaves are also fragrant, it has white flowers, and again with some more hardy geraniums at the bottom.
Despite the unpredictable British weather, the Garden ER team has triumphed. This is what Motter's garden looked like when we started. And this is it now. What a difference! Join us next time for another amazing transformation on Garden ER. Always remember, when you're using power tools, do follow the recommended safety instructions.